Hey guys, this video is for Reed Smith. It's Roland from Borealis Bushcraft. Earlier in one of my videos while I was harvesting some cedar bark and a chunk of cedar to bring here. Sorry you get, it's really windy outside, so I don't want the wind to take over the audio as good as my phone is. These Samsungs aren't that great actually. I don't really care for it. Anyway, whatever. We're going to finish up the harvesting portion. So what we're going to do, my head's going to be in and out of frame, but I really don't care. So we're going to use the ferro rod, right? And just the back of spine of my knife, which is ground to 90 degrees. Oh my god, it's the assault of the wood ticks, man. Jesus. You know, when the world ended, I didn't think it was going to be by wood ticks. Anyway, so again, this branch off the cedar was dead, so we're going to utilize that to scrape some dry cedar bark off of here. And basically, just scrape it and drive the knife down. Nothing crazy. You're going to get a mix of fluffy materials. The inner bark fluffs out a little bit more than the outer, which is fine. It's exactly what you want. Notice how I'm scraping in one direction. That's so that all my shavings kind of gather up on the base. And then that way I can pluck them off after a while. What's going to happen too is eventually you'll get into what's left of the sapwood if the branch isn't completely dead. But what you want is you're creating surface area. Surface area takes a spark a lot better. Oh my god. You find one or two men and you're just crawling. I'm going to be dreaming of wood ticks tonight. Oh, my dog's just lying down on the cool concrete. He's kind of liking this. We're basically processing the branch. The reason I like using the spine of the knife is because it gives me another tool. It acts more like a spoke shave, and I don't have to worry about dulling my edge. So now basically we just gather up the shavings. Gather up the shavings, they're all kind of nice and light and fluffy. So you can see that, oh, they're really falling apart. So this is nice, and this should take a spark quite well. So that's my dead branch shavings. I get a little bit more here to add to that. There we go. That's from when I scraped the other branch that I had out in the tree. Now on the bottom of my cup that I used to collect the other shavings, at the bottom I have this bark that I scraped off of the live tree. So what we're going to do, and you can kind of feel there's maybe a little bit of moisture in some of the fluff, just due to the fact that it was scraped off a live tree. So we're basically going to do a small short video basically just on lighting it with the ferro rod. Alright, I gotta take the hat off, I'm cooking. And I'm just crawling. I think it's a sweat rubbing down my head, but whatever. Okay, so, scram dog. He just wants to get in the picture. I think that's what's going on there. Hopefully you can see, bring it out a little bit. I kind of tucked into the snowmobile shack here at the cross-country ski shack at the park because it's the wind's really picked up. I don't want any tinder blowing out into the grass or nothing. So the floor in here it's all concrete, and I had a little bit of a squirt bottle here, so I don't anticipate having any problems. But you just never know. You want to be careful, right? You know, it's a resource. You don't want to destroy it for others. And I'm just going to light the tinder on top of a billet of wood out of the woodshed here. And that way I can just squirt it with some water, put it out, not a big deal. So I'm going to take our live tree shavings and our dead tree shavings, and we're going to go through a quick demo with using the ferro rod. Now, on Facebook I had mentioned that when you want to scrape your rod is here, you don't want your knife to be angled towards you like this and drive sparks off this way, because see what happens, you're getting tiny sparks. What you want to do is you want to take the knife and you want to flip it so that the leading edge is more like an ice skate. So picture carving with an ice skate across. See how it just glows? And you drive the rod. It's still glowing and sparking. That's what you want. You want to be able to have it so that your sparks are popping and hitting and still lit when they hit the floor. So that when you place your tinder, you fix your hand completely firm and straight, push your rod all the way down into your tinder, and drive the rod up. If you notice where the sparks are falling, they're falling right on top of the tinder bundle. And they're still glowing. Okay? So that should take care of your ferro rod issue. And just practice, man. Practice. The other thing I noticed, you're using the Bear Grylls Ultimate in your video. The spine of that knife was ground left-handed for when Bear Grylls designed it with Gerber. And Bear's a lefty, southpaw. So what's going to happen is the knife is not going to be a complete 90-degree spine. It's actually going to have a bit of a slight angle to one side. And usually that's to the leading side of the left edge. So that when he puts his knife on the rod, if I do this left-handed, right, his leading edge has got a high point. So anyway, 90-degree spine is a little bit better that way than ambidextrous. Why Gerber did that, I don't know. But I've had two of those knives, and they both suffered from the same dilemma. Now, with your cedar bark, you want to kind of tease it up a little bit. Try and get a mixture of fine and coarse shavings in there. It's nice and fluffy. You see that? Okay, good. So we're going to take the rod. Again, we're going to pull the rod up. So if I push the rod down into the tinder, or do it at the same time, I'm not guaranteed as to where my sparks are going to land. But if I fix my fist and place the rod down into the tinder bundle and pull up, right? There we go. Oh, we got her. That dampness, once it goes to ember, it's probably going to, on the live bark, will go to ember first. But then you can usually blow it into flame, very similar to a bow drill ember. Okay, so that was a live bark. So we're just going to dump this into the wood stove because that's what the camera's mounted on, is the corner of the wood stove. So I don't have to worry about putting that out, wasting my water. So this is a live tinder bundle now. And same kind of concept. A little bit of wind coming in my door here. Kind of want to fluff it up really good. You don't want it too compact. If the bundle's too tight, then I can't get any oxygen into it. That's why I ended up having to blow a little bit. But it's not the end of the world. I'm not a huge fan of using cedar bark. If I can, I'll use poplar bark or birch. I just find that there's not a lot of cedar where I am. That's why I came to Birdsell Park for this video, because the normal places I tend to go don't have cedar. So you're going to fluff that bundle up a little bit. Same idea. Place your rod down into the base of the bundle, and you're going to pull the rod up and drive the sparks down into the bundle. There we go. Yeah, one more time. Creates a little blast furnace. Cedar bark doesn't have a whole lot of oils and stuff in it. It's quite dry. It does take a spark, but it doesn't take a spark as well as poplar bark or birch bark because of the way that the oils are. It gives you more of like a cigarette type ember. Right? Just kind of wants to smolder on its own. So you're definitely going to have to blow it into flame. And then after that you can add your kindling or more tinder or whatever you need to do to get it into a full-on fire. Create your fire from that. So I hope this helped you out, Reed. Give you a little bit of an insight. We kind of learned a few things here together. I haven't used cedar bark in quite a few years because it doesn't grow where I am. But I found some for you. So yeah, there's definitely enough heat in there to ignite other tinders, buddy. So happy trails on your fire making. Keep scouting, and yeah, we'll talk to you later. Take care, brother.